Hi, fashion dolls. It is finally Friday, August 18th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Joining me today, we have award winning director Martin Nuza, and he is fixing to join me, fashion dolls. This has been an amazing week thus far. Make sure you guys go and vote for your favorite look of the week. So, without further ado, let's welcome our incredibly talented special guest. He is an award winning director, and I'm excited to have him here in the dollhouse. So, without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, Martin Nuza.
Hello, good evening. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful. How are you?
Doing well, thank you very much.
Such a pleasure to have you here. So, before we kick off this interview, and it won't be long because I know you have a lot to do, I see Mick and everyone is coming in. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Happy Friday, everyone. How has 2023 been for you so far?
Well, it's been very well. It's been quite challenging regarding the latest feature we've just wrapped in Gibraltar, and it's the project's called In Tenebras, Into the Darkness,
Yes.
and it's a very interesting suspense action mystery backstory based on a true story based in the Second World War, but it's located in present time in Gibraltar. It stars Michael Paré, Costas Mandela, Tanja Kancic, local actors in Gibraltar, Anthony Lodo, Johan Wigman, and Rebecca Davis, amongst others too.
So, what was the creative process like for creating this project? Because this project has been featured in Hollywood Entertainment Magazine. Congratulations, I've seen the feature. And what was the process like creating this amazing project?
Well, I wrote the script in February of this year, and I actually wrote two characters in, especially for Michael Paré and Costas Mandela. I sent them off to them, and they love the characters, they love the stories, and that motivated me to then push the story and the project forward. And we started shooting in July the 10th of this year, just basically a few months down the line after the script was done. The To produce it in Gibraltar locally was quite challenging because we used original Second World War military tunnels for which is a concept of the actual the theme of the film, and we also used other tunnels segments inside the rock that no civilian have actually visited, like the Eisenhower room, where General Dwight Eisenhower from America during the Second World War stayed and oversaw Operation Torch from Gibraltar. It's rather interesting indeed. So the film explores many factors, but it mainly consists of three children or three teenagers that go in. They actually arrive to Gibraltar to go on a treasure hunt for the lost gold of the Second World War that was buried in Gibraltar, and they get lost themselves within the tunnel system. So the military have to be called in to do a search and rescue, and the search and rescue takes a twist for the bad, for the worst, and it becomes a survival of the fittest because they encounter something inside the tunnels, which is the heart of the story, Tenebras.
Yes. And Mick is here. She says, good evening, interesting interview. And this project seems like it goes through different time periods. You've mentioned Dwight Eisenhower, who was a very popular president down here in the United States where I'm at. So, what is something that people can take away from watching Into the Darkness?
Okay, the story itself is rather compelling story. It's a rather original story. I mean, I've 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 tried to steer away from the normal, stories about fiction or thrillers. This is something rather unique. But what people will take away is if they haven't seen Gibraltar or they haven't experienced it, they will see where Gibraltar actually is, what Gibraltar is all about, but most importantly, they will see something that they will probably never see in their lives inside the Rock of Gibraltar. And that's something very, very interesting indeed.
and it is beautiful. And just looking at the trailer, the input, you have such a immaculate eye to capture beauty in this film. And it goes through different time periods. And like I said, Hollywood Entertainment or Hollywood News has written an article on your film. How was that? How amazing was that?
Well, I have to give thanks to my publicist, Miki Sola. She's actually now listening also. And she's the one that also arranged this interview with yourself. And she's done a great job regarding marketing and publicity, which is great. And I hope she continues with that trend, because this film is a really great film to watch when it's ready. There's been so much done for its, for it to actually be conceived into reality, because it was, remember, the script was written in February, and just a few months later we started shooting it. And to get it off the ground, it was a really, really daunting task. But we managed to pull it through. We got also a great crew located in Gibraltar. I have to give my hat, chapeau to Shania Productions, Shania Torres, the cinematographer, and also the Light of God himself, Jim Crone. He lit the tunnels beautifully for the feature. We stayed in the tunnels literally for over 2 weeks, filming inside, all throughout many different areas of the military tunnels. So we don't just explore one part of the tunnels, but we literally explore virtually loads of tunnel scenes that, again, people have never seen before. So, and then we also have a great production assistants and production crew along, which is great, and the actors themselves. We also have a great talented actress from England, Taya Kansik, who did also all the stunts, and she stunt coordinated the entire film. So, she's a great talented actress. For those who may not have heard about her, Taya Kansik, she is great. Look her up, because she's going to go to a lot of places.
And just that alone, you've worked with so many incredible individuals on this project. Let me go through and read some of you guys' comments. Mick says, yeah, I missed that one. We can't wait to watch the film, Tenebrals Into the Darkness. And Miss Stevie, stunning with that red hair. Yesterday, my hair was brown. So expect the switch up. And I did this for the fall, winter months. We are now going into fall. So the months are going to be getting cooler. So I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I would normally do. Expect the change up, you guys. And speaking of change, Martin, how do you stay motivated and encouraged? Because I know working on this project was a strenuous task with making sure that you shot from every angle. So how do you stay motivated and encouraged?
Well, I wrote the script. I had the idea virtually in my mind, so I knew exactly what I wanted. I produced and directed it. So I did basically 2 jobs, which in itself are rather not difficult, but it drains you. So personally, emotionally, I was drained every day, because we had so much going on. Every day was a challenge in itself. Not only did we shoot inside the rock, inside the tunnels, we also shot outside of the nature reserve, up and down the local streets. And also we did an entire afternoon in the port of Gibraltar. We had 6 different boats, going around in circles, chase scenes. We had the customs boats involved. We had all the port authority involved. So, it was a lot of things that you have to remember when you're shooting as a director, but you also have to remember as you are the producer also that everything goes to plan, because you have to follow the time schedule. So if you delay that, then you're going to miss the timings for the boats and the slots and the windows that are open for you to do those stunts. So yeah, every day was challenging, but I managed to pull it through again, thanks because of the great team that I assembled in Gibraltar for that. And that's why I said, hats off to everyone. And I also want to give a special thanks to Templegate Films from America, Rick Ballantyne, He's a music. He's going to do the music score for the film, and also to Broken Hand Productions, Jane Fitzpatrick. She's one of the executive producers of this film. She believed in this project since day one, and she's helped me a lot. So again, lots of thanks to her too. So, and also locally in Gibraltar, I've got to give a special thanks to the Sunborn Hotel. They were great sponsoring the accommodation for the main actors, and also provide a lot of the shooting scenes that we required. Continent 8 Technologies, they assisted with the entrance to the Dwight Eisenhower room and some of the other military tunnels and the military comm center inside the rock where we also shot. First time also for any production company to do a feature film inside these tunnels and inside the comm center. We were the first. Also, there's so many people, but most of great thanks to the government of Gibraltar for their support in allowing us access to anywhere that I wanted to film. And it's great. They open us with open arms, basically.
And that's incredible to have a great team backing you on this project 100%, getting it out there and all the way over here to the United States. Because you know that people are aware of it. It's in Hollywood News Magazine. So, how does it feel to have your project cross over to where I'm at in the United States?
Well, it's great. It's great because the whole purpose of this is not only to show a great story and have all the actors shine and introduce great actors for the first time debuting in this film, but also to put Gibraltar further on the map and promote Gibraltar, because Gibraltar is such a small place in Europe. It's literally next to Spain and Morocco. We are part of the Spanish Iberian Peninsula, but we are British. We are under the UK. We come under England. But Gibraltar's got so much potential for tourism, and it's so much beauty that it's good for people out of Gibraltar to actually experience it in a film. So, it's great to have it across the pond, as it's called, in the States. And I hope it goes beyond that also when the distribution kicks in.
And it definitely will. It will cross over. I got a feeling about this project. So if you guys have not, make sure you guys go and stay tuned. Make sure you're following Martin and check it out. My final question is for you, because I know I can't keep you. Mick was telling me be aware of the time and everything. There's a big time difference over there where you're at and where I'm at down here in the States. What advice would you give to film directors on working on their projects? Because I know the film process is very strenuous. It's a long one. A lot of people just like, okay, we can take it in one take. But no, it's a lot that goes more into producing and directing your films. Like you're an award-winning director. And what advice would you give to other film directors out here that are just in the beginning, just starting?
Well, the main thing is never to give up, never lose hope. You're going to have a lot of doors being shut in your face. Go through them. Divert. If this one shuts in the face, go next door. Maybe it will open. And if it doesn't, continue, persist. If you give up and you cuddle up and you just hide in the corner, then you will never do anything. So my advice is just to continue. Find it. Your dream will be there. It's just a matter of knocking on the right door to go through it. And
Yeah.
if you have means of doing anything, just grab a camera, grab a group of friends, and shoot something. Anything. Try and just give yourself the boost and the morale that you need, and never give hope. Never lose hope, brother. Never give up. That's the only advice I can give. And then once you actually do a project, yes, make sure you have it clearly in your head what you need to do for those particular days, and do it correctly. Look after your team. Like I mentioned before, I have this great team in Gibraltar, which I've already mentioned, even the names.
Mhm.
And I also want to give special thanks to a very young, talented actor, and effects person in Gibraltar called Jared Basalo. And he's
Yeah,
doing all the
I can
CPI.
see him pop up in the comments.
I see. Oh, okay. Well, how, Jared? Um, he's a very talented individual, and he's doing all the CGI visual effects for this film too. Again, it all comes down to teamwork. So if any aspiring director gets the right team, then the sky's the limit. Everything can happen.
Absolutely. Any final questions, Fashion Dolls, for myself or Martin before we conclude this great convo? Because I can't keep him. Tyler Bronze, Into the Darkness. Make sure you guys please go and check this amazing project out by Martin Nuza. And make sure you also go and check out Original Magazine UK. Special thanks to Mick for setting this up. She's awesome. I had her on the show and we did our interview together and we had so much fun. So special thanks to Mick for that, for setting this up with Martin. Martin, it's such a pleasure to have you here. And great to cross over where you're at in Europe and I'm in the States. So this is even more amazing. And to add on to today's final thought, Fashion Dolls, I'm going to leave you with some words of encouragement too. And this one comes from author Toni Morrison. As you enter positions of trust and power, dream a little before you think. And this goes along with what Martin just said, which is making sure that you stay grounded and surrounded by a team of people that you trust 100% that are helping you along the way to grow. All right, Fashion Dolls? Martin, are there any final thoughts that you would like? Oh, we got a question for you from Mick before we wrap up. I was trying to be cautious of the time. She wants to know, what are your next projects?
Okay, well, I'm developing, I've been developing a project. It's actually a TV series called Station 211 with an associate I have in the UK. It's called Russell Go. And that we are focusing on that project. It's basically a science fiction project. It's about aliens and conspiracy theories, and it's very interesting. But it's going to take the X-Files to basically the next level. So that's the project I'm working on. But at the same time, I'm also working with Jane Fitzpatrick of Broken Hand Productions, like I mentioned before, on the project Skayagaweya, a feature film, and also Moondrake, which is an animated TV animation series. So I'm quite kept busy, but also I have another project which I want to get involved with, which is based on the book I published recently called Snatched, The Unforgettable Cruise. And it deals with true life crimes on board cruise ships. And it took 3 years of research, which I did, with the American Association of International Cruise Victims from America. And after 3 years of researching it, I finally sat down and wrote the book. And then I wrote the screenplay. So that's in the back burner, but it's still there to be produced. So I'm kept quite busy.
All right. Do we have any other questions for Martin, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude? And just make sure you guys are staying tuned. And you've mentioned book. We had Zoe on the show not too long ago, and she promoted her book, Apostolos, which you guys can go and check it out as well too. The Hawk. So make sure you guys check out that interview. That was a great interview. And just her artistic ability is just amazing. So I could see you two working on something together. And she's in the group. So we're all in the group together, and I love it. So special thanks again to Mick for setting this interview up. We have some great shows lined up for you guys next week. Next week, Friday, you guys know that I love, oh my goodness, I love my body care. My girl Hypnotic Skincare is joining me Friday. We're going to be talking all things beauty, scent related. So make sure you guys tune in Friday. And also a new episode of Tete-a-Tete episode 4. It is my day to open the show. So make sure you guys tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern here on the gram for that. Mick says the book Snatch can save lives. How does that make you feel to know that your book is a masterpiece in itself and it is touching people already?
Yes, Snatch, The Unforgettable Cruise, is written to save lives and to make people aware of what can happen to you when you go in any cruise, in any part of the world. Because the moment you step into the actual ship, doesn't matter if it's in America, the UK, anywhere, you are at the mercy of the legislation and the laws of the country where that ship is registered, which normally is registered in a different country, like the Bahamas, Bermuda, or wherever. And that's the first mistake people take, because they assume that they are safe in a sort of a bubble in a ship, and they're not. And when the ship goes into international waters, then the same thing applies. There's no police. There's only a limited security staff in the ships. So if anything happens, which unfortunately does, more than people assume it does, you have to wait for the police of that country from the other side of the world
Yeah.
sometimes to make their way to the ship to do their investigation. By the time they get there, the ship's already made its turnaround and the area has been contaminated. So the book covers all the aspects of everything to make people aware of what to do to be safe. And not only you, but also your loved ones, families, friends, etc. It covers many and sad stories of people that have gone missing. It covers many incidents of true crimes that have happened and what you can do to protect yourself. But it's also a very lovely story about a character who actually goes on a cruise and something happens to her and her father has to try and save her. But it goes also for the worst. So Snatch, The Unforgettable Cruise is available in Amazon anywhere in the world. And it's a really worthwhile. The reviews I've received are superb, very positive, and it's really a great book to just check it out, really.
Miss Stevie, we are waiting for your next beautiful fashion article. I'm so grateful for everything we are doing together. It is really fun and you're awesome. Love you. Love you. Love you too, Mick. Thank you. I'm waiting on it to come out too. I hope you guys like it. We just have to wait for Mick to put it out there. So you guys just stay tuned. This is for the fall winter months. This article that is coming out. So I can't wait for Mick to post it. As soon as she posts it, you guys, you'll be able to see everything. But I can't wait. I hope you guys like it. And I know you will. So without further ado, fashion dolls, do we have any other questions for myself or Mick? Let me make sure I didn't miss any questions for myself, Mick or Martin. And Vic says, great book and storyline, definitely an eye opener. And what's so scary is things like that happen down here in the United States. You would not believe it. Even when we're going to someplace like Europe or traveling wherever, things like this happen in the United States where we have family that goes missing on these trips, and it's scary. So all of that alone, I need you guys to go and check out Martin's book, Snatch, which is out on Amazon right now. I need you guys to go pick up and purchase your copy and make sure that you guys are staying up to date on all things Original Magazine UK. I can't wait for the next fashion article. And of course, New York Fashion Week, Couture Fashion Week will be coming sometime next month. So that article will be coming pretty soon. Make sure you guys stay tuned for that as well. I love you all, fashion dolls. Do we have any other questions before we wrap up with Martin? And Martin, while everyone is typing, if they have any questions, let everyone know where they can follow you and check out your projects and get snatched.
Well, like I mentioned, Snatched, The Unforgettable Cruise is available in Amazon in paperback and also in Kindle version, which is a much easier download version to read it. I've got my Facebook page, which is Martin Manuel Nuza, that's Nuza, and this is my Instagram page. So that I also have a LinkedIn page, which is Martin Nuza. And all these pages normally have all my projects and updates. And each project that I've worked on and I am working on have their own different pages in Facebook. But those are, you can watch them out in my Facebook page. It has all my pages also locked in, even the one of In Tenebras, Into the Darkness.
And Mick says, tell us a little bit about Into Tenebras, Into the Darkness. Tell us a little bit about the cast of the film.
Yes, like I explained earlier at the beginning of this interview, I mentioned the names of all the cast, but I'm going to go through them again. We've got the main cast, which is Michael Paré, very famous US actor. We've got Kostas Mandila, also a very famous actor. We've got Talia Kansik from the UK, also very popular, not only because she's a model actress, but also because she's a stunt coordinator. And she's a great person. And I'm glad to say she's also a very good friend, same as Michael and Kostas. And locally in Gibraltar, we've got, like I mentioned previously, we've got great debuts from Anthony Lodo, Johan Wickholm, and Rebecca Davis. These three actors locally have been introduced into this project, and they will be making the debut, the three of them, for the first time in these medias in Tenebras. But what I want to highlight is that the three of them are so talented that it's been a great pleasure to work with all of them. Anthony, Johan, and Rebecca play the teenagers that go into the rock and they get lost, and the military guys are called in to rescue them. And we also had great support from the local association of they're called Rock Scorpions and Rock Gunners, and they play all the military guys, and they are superb. They are great to work with. They come fully kitted with all the gear, including all the weapons, and they really fit the mark. They are so great guys. We've got Nigel, we've got Garth, we've got a guy called Loncha, which we call, actually called Francis, but his nickname Loncha, which is a great guy also. And, Jace, we have another Jace and Kevin. Anyway, Orlando. We also have Lee Trico, which he also supplied a lot of the boats and the cars and the vehicles for this film. Lee's a very great guy also. And like I mentioned before, it's all teamwork. So it's thanks to the collaboration of all these lovely people that Tenebras Into the Darkness project has been able to be made locally. Because without such a great team involved, I'm not a one-man band. No one is. I need help. I need support. Every director does. And every producer does too. So it's like I mentioned before, find the right team. I also want to highlight also that we also had great support from Mandy Gallero, which is a local tour company in Gibraltar, which is actually MH Bland group of companies. They also provide Calypso tours, and it's thanks to them that we had also access to other boats, cable car, the nature reserve, buses, great team indeed. And it's all about what you want. What do you want in life? Let's make a film. If you find the right people with the same passion as you, it's a breeze. If you have people that are a bit negative and all they give you is headaches, then the dream won't be a dream. It's going to be a nightmare.
And you have to let those people go. Mick says, great cast and crew. Beautiful team.
Indeed. And Mickey's been a very supportive individual also in this project. She's helping a lot with the marketing and the promotion also, which is a blessing. And, I really like to give her a special thanks because she's also that part of the team, which is invaluable.
And very, very important. Do we have any other questions for Martin or myself, ladies and gentlemen? This is such a great conversation and it's very refreshing. And I hope you guys all are taking something away from just this conversation with Martin on this project as well.
If you don't mind, I also want to mention, we also had a team of nearly 70 extras in this film.
Wow.
All local, and some of them had some speaking roles, others had some more difficult roles, which is basically inside the tunnels, scary moments. I want to highlight also two special individuals, Chris Alblet and Adrian Balestrino, who really went out of the way to make sure that their scenes were greatly done and performed excellently. Like I said, great team. I'm very happy Shania did a great job with the casting of the extras too, and you know, it's surround yourself with great people,
Yeah.
and everyone shines at the end of the day because it's everyone's names that will be in the credits of the film, in the marketing of the project, and everyone will be well known when it comes out.
And Mick says, lovely words, Martin. Thank you so much.
My pleasure. That's the
All right,
truth.
fashion dolls. Do we have any more questions for myself or Martin or Mick? Make sure you guys go and check out Into Nebra's Into the Darkness, and also check out the book Snatched, which is available on Amazon. And make sure you guys also go and check out Original Magazine UK. We're now in the United States. So make sure you guys go and pick up your copy. It looks great on the coffee table. We would love to see you come into Europe and Gibraltar anytime. I would love to. There's always been a dream of mine because you guys know I'm such a fashion girl. So I definitely will invest in coming into Europe pretty soon. So I'm excited about that. I love it. In Paris as well. So you guys just stay tuned. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can I mention one? Can I mention one very important thing, please? Not only do I needed a great team to help this, but I also had a great support from my lovely wife. She was the one that
Oh,
pushed me and encouraged me at the moments and the times that not everyone knows this, but sometimes the doors, even in Gibraltar, were shut in my face. So it was for me. It was very, very sad, but I continued, I persevered, and I
yeah.
managed to get the project off the ground. But it's thanks to her support and encouragement. She always pushed me to continue and continue. That we actually managed to make the project at the end of the day. So it's thanks to Nadezhda, which people call her Nadia, that we managed to do this project in the end. Not many people know that, but now you do.
And it's amazing. Again, it goes back to what you just said a few minutes ago, which is making sure that you have that amazing support system behind you. And I see it, I feel it, I receive it, and it goes on both ends as well too. To anybody, if you're getting into this business, make sure that you have a strong, solid support team of people behind you. And you're going to get a lot of no's. I've gotten no's, but the key trick is to not let those no's deter you or stop you from where you need to go in the next destination or phase in your life. It can be scary, but keep going, keep persevering. Don't ever give up. We are almost at that 500 mark. In case you guys missed it yesterday, we are almost at 500 interviews here on my talk show and platform, you guys. So thank you guys so much for your unconditional love and support. And Mick says, that's great. Lovely support from your wife. Blessings to her.
Thank you very much.
All right, fashion dolls. Any last minute thoughts or questions for myself or Martin? I need you guys to go and check out this incredible project and check out Martin's book as well too. Go and check out the link tree. Everything should be there, and I will pin everything along when I do my real highlights. Make sure you guys go and vote for your favorite look of the week. I gave you guys 4 different looks this week. It's been a very colorful week because we're now going into the fall fashion months. So make sure you guys go and look for that post and vote as well too. And also be on the lookout for next week's show lineup. That will go up as well too today. So if we don't have any last minute thoughts, Mick put it in the comments. Book is Snatched, The Unforgettable Cruise, and Into Neighbors, Into the Darkness. I need you guys to go and check those out right here with our very special guest, Martin Nuza. Martin, thank you so much for coming to the Dollhouse. I had such a great time. And I know it's late where you're at, and over here it's like 4:37. So big time difference. And special thanks to Mick for setting this interview up. We have some more guests that'll be coming in from the group. Ellen is going to be our next guest on the show. So make sure you guys stay tuned for that. She's coming on, I think, next month, or if not next month, sometime in October. So make sure you guys stay tuned as well too. As the event is coming on all the way in December, which is another announcement. We've been renewed all the way up until December. So thank you guys again for supporting this platform and just tuning in, the viewership, the support, the comments, the love. I feel it and I receive it. So special thanks to Martin here for coming to the dollhouse and just, I had a great time. I had a great time. So let everyone know where they can follow you again and check you out for anyone who's missed it.
Yes, I've got a Facebook page which is Martin Manuel Nuza. Nuza is Nuza. I've got all the projects there, which is individual pages for all the projects I'm working on and I've worked on in the past. This is my Instagram page, which is Martin Nuza. And I also have my LinkedIn page, which is Martin Nuza also. So, and that's it really. That's where you can find me out. I also have my own webpage, which is martinnusaproductions.com. And you also have all my projects there, and a lot of pictures from the projects and behind the scenes and so on. That's martinnusaproductions.com, all in one.
All right.
And yeah, Mickey, she's my publisher, so you can also get in contact me through her also. So, but yeah, anything I can help out, just send me a line.
The Unforgettable Cruise. Yes.
Snatch the Unforgettable Cruise. That's something that I cannot emphasize too much. It will save lives. So it's worthwhile to read. It's been published in England, and Michael Terrence Publishing, and it's literally a lifesaver. It's been 3 years of hard research with the International Cruise Victim Association of America. There are two different associations. One is in America and one is in Australia. But they both have the same vision: save lives. Awareness is very important. Make sure people are aware of what happens when you board a cruise, and what happens if something should happen to you or your loved one in a cruise. It's not as easy as people assume it is. Everything has its little problems. And this book, Snatch the Unforgettable Cruise, highlights all the problems, tries to find a solution, but it's a great story regardless, from start to finish, of what happens to a character in the film, in the actual book, which is based on 6 different true life crimes that happened, but I put them all into one character.
All right. Fashion Dolls. And also Into Neighbors, Into the Darkness. Make sure you guys go and check out that project as well too. And I want you guys to be safe. Tomorrow is Saturday. We will be back next week with all new episodes of Style by Stevie. And hopefully by next week, we should hit that 500 mark. So we got a lot of work to do. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Special thanks to our makeup artist here, our beauty contributor, Melanie, for making sure that we are right every episode. This week has been an amazing week, and I've had so much fun changing up different looks. So we love experimenting here at Style by Stevie. But thank you all for tuning in with my very special guest, award-winning director and writer, Martin Nuza. And special thanks to Mick for setting this up. Mick, always a pleasure. I can't wait for the next interview and the next one and the next one. Thank you all for tuning in, and I look forward to chatting with you all soon. Take care, everyone.
Thank you very much for having me, and have a good evening too.
You too. Take